Good morning and welcome to Atlantic Television Network on Atlantic Blowout. This is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events and stories through correspondence, reports, expert opinion and stakeholders analysis. Today we'll be going into interesting topics, and the first one is from Zamfara State. Government decries increasing numbers of ghost workers. And in Kaduna State, the government initiates empowerment scheme for Arewa women and healthcare governments to reform organ transplant policy. And we also have here that the federal government secures $134 million loan to boost farm produce. And in judiciary, Yahaya's case adjourned till November 27. And finally, we have an oil and gas cabals hinder success in private refineries. This is coming from Pastor Adeboye. We will go on a quick short break, and when we return, we will get to introduce our amazing guests here with us in the studio. Do stay with us. welcome back. And like I said, with us in the studio is no other but Miss Barrister Manki Tane Adubabari Esquire. He is a solicitor and advocate as well as notary public of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. He is also a socio-political analyst, a mentorship coach. It's always a pleasure to have you here at the studio.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Morning to everyone.
You're welcome. And like I said, let's go into the news in details. In Zamfara State, the Zamfara State government has lamented what he described as the alarming number of ghost workers in the state civil service. Addressing this, the state head of service, HOS, Barrister Ahmad Liman, said that nobody can exactly say the number of civil servants in the state. He further stated that the ghost workers are mainly in the health and education sectors. According to him, a verification exercise is still ongoing. In a particular hospital, there were 22 health workers receiving salaries, but the verification revealed that only 2 health workers are genuine, the HOS lamented. The government official explained that the verification exercise will be concluded at the end of November 2024, after which a committee on salary will be constituted. The government said that the situation has become worrisome and perplexing. The HOS, who is also the chairman, steering committee on verification exercise, pointed out that the present administration in the states inherited some unsolved issues from the past governments. It was discovered that the implementation of the 2019 minimum wage of 30,000 naira was faulty. As soon as the verification and salary committees submit their reports, the state government will implement the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira. I would love to get your thoughts on this, sir.
Well, it's very, very unfortunate, and I will tell you straight, what the echo you are picking or signal that is coming from the Zamfara axis is a reflection of what is happening in the country. I can tell you for free, on the flip side, that a lot of Nigerians, it's only that, as I'm speaking to you, I have made up my mind to remain here. In my capacity as a notary public of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, I can confirm to you that Nigerians are leaving this country in droves. Particularly, if you listen carefully to that report, it's zero on medical healthcare. That's the healthcare sector. A lot of doctors are moving out of this country. I ask you a very simple question. Is this country worth dying for? Your straight answer will be no. Except you are not living in the reality of the time that we are in. Particularly this unfortunate, avoidable, imposed economic holocaust, which is as a result of bad policy. Of course, you see the Naira is going down the drain, becoming worthless. Then you think about how much a head worker can earn outside this space. Even in Africa. Then what's the need? And life is not even secured. So what are you talking about? Now look at Zamfara. Talk about the issue of insecurity there. Then the head worker will come, and I can tell you for free, the investigation will confirm at the end of the day that most of these persons have moved abroad. Sure. That's it. And they are still receiving salary. They moved codely. That is the way it used to happen. They moved codely. Only those 2 that of transaction. Today, you can be operating your account from any part of the world. You can operate your account in Nigeria from any part of the world. So their account will still be running. It's not that they are carrying out a kind of investigation that they are coming to this position. But the reality is what is happening. It will shock you to know that this government, this present government, that is not ready to talk about issues that touch on the lives of Nigerians. They are not careful about the issue of healthcare. They are careful about how to capture the judiciary. To turn the law, instead of pursuing the cause of justice, but to use it as an instrument of suppression, repression, and what do you call it, oppression.
Okay,
and that is quite sad. So you will see more at the end of this report. You will realize that far more, particularly, it is now very evident that the health sector is the worst hit in the disease, and it's very unfortunate. The government should, be held accountable for that, and nothing more.
Okay, you said the government should be held accountable for the reason why these civil servants, staffs get to leave the country and become ghost workers. But do you think it's a right thing to be a ghost worker and still receive your salary? You know you're not delivering the services you were paid for, and then you decide not to be present and render those services, but you still receive salary for it. Do you think it's actually the right step to take?
Now, there are several ways to it. You'll be surprised that most of these people are out on leave of absence as if they went for further study. There are people that will fall within that space. But I can also confirm to you that there are people that have actually moved, do you understand, permanently. And those within the sector are aware, and they will be sharing the salary. Now, that force and question the legal system. If the law is working. I was telling one of my colleagues a few days ago, I've been for a while in Port Harcourt here. There used to be a time that if you ask somebody to cross the High Court complex premises in Port Harcourt here, that is from Station Road to Bank Road, they would rather walk through Nine Post and Central Bank instead of using the court premises. Because there used to be an aura. There are families you enter into that are neat. If you are not asked to sit down, you can't just sit down. The environment will command you and give you direction. There are some families that are disciplined. When you get in, you can feel that it's like a club environment. There is an environment within that space. So this